When I tried writing my first YouTube script, I rewrote the same intro 4 times and still never filmed the video. Not because I didn't want it bad enough, but because I had no clue what I was doing. Now, I've grown 4 channels to over 100,000 subscribers and racked up millions of views across all of them. So if you're stuck staring at a Google Doc, deleting every line you write, this video is for you. Because today, I'm going to show you exactly how to script your first YouTube video from scratch, even if you feel totally lost right now. The dead simple script outline I've used across every viral video that keeps people glued to the screen, and how to use AI to turn rough ideas into clean, high-retention scripts in minutes without sounding like a robot. Let's get into it. Before we write anything, let's set the foundation. You need a script, especially as a beginner, because winging it usually leads to rambling, awkward pauses, and a video that's hard to follow. A script gives you structure, builds your confidence, and helps you sound clear, even if you've never recorded before. It also saves you a lot of time since you'll spot mistakes before filming and avoid having to re-record or re-edit later. Now, to build a solid script, you need to start with 3 things. First, what is your video actually about? Be very specific. So instead of doing a video on how to grow on YouTube, try specifying it into something like how to hit 100 subs using faceless shorts. You have to say it clearly, like, I'm making this for beginners who want to grow without showing their face. Third, what's the one big promise? That's the result someone gets if they watch till the end. For example, you'll know exactly how to script your first video that gets real views. Once you've got those 3 written down, go ahead and lay out the basic structure. I type this into every script before I write anything else. First, the hook and the intro, then go into the main body of the video, and from there to the conclusion and the call to action. This is your skeleton. It gives you a clear map of what your video needs to include, so you're not guessing as you go. The hook is the first 5 to 15 seconds. This is where you grab attention and show people why they should care. The intro is where you set expectations based on the foundations we laid just now, like who the video is for, what it's about, and what they'll get from watching. The main body is where you deliver the actual value step by step. The conclusion, and CTA, is where you wrap things up, include any next steps, and tell people what to do next, like subscribe, comment, or watch your next video. You don't need to fill it all in yet. Just having this structure in front of you makes everything else easier. It keeps your thoughts focused and makes sure your video flows logically from start to finish. That's your foundation. From here, we'll start building the script piece by piece. Now let's walk through the full method step by step. This is the exact workflow I used when scripting my own videos from scratch. So, first up is research, and it's important because it helps you understand what's already out there, so you don't repeat the same content and can find ways to make your video stand out. Here's how I do it smart. I search for 2 to 3 videos on the exact same topic I'm making a video about. Let's say I'm doing a video on scripting YouTube videos. I'll search how to write a YouTube script and pick the top results. I'm not looking to copy anyone here. I'm looking to learn what's already been said, what's missing, and what feels stale. As I'm watching, I pause and take notes with these 4 questions in mind. Where did I get bored? So that I know what parts to make more entertaining for the viewer. What made me click in the first place? This gives me the idea for the thumbnail and title. What's the one thing that stood out or felt valuable? This makes me understand the core values to include in my video. And what are people saying in the comments that they still want to learn? This gives me my angle for the video that will outshine the ones I just watched. Now that I have my ideas and angles, I build a skeleton of the script. I just type something that looks like this. Hook intro, point 1, point 2, point 3, conclusion, CTA. That's the frame everything will hang on. Under each point I write 3 to 4 bullets max. Not full sentences, just raw thoughts or things I know I want to say. Let's say one of my main points is how to write a good hook. Under that I'd write, start with the viewer's problem, use emotional language, make it specific and short. This gives me a bird's eye view of the video before I ever write a single line of dialogue. Now let's talk about actually writing the hook. The rule I made for myself is that if your hook sucks, the rest of your video won't matter. So I always start with the viewer's pain, something they've actually felt. I usually try 3 versions of my hook before I pick the final one, and I test them out loud, even if it sounds weird, because it helps me to find grammatical issues and point out if anything should be rewritten. Let's say I'm scripting the video you're watching right now. I want to hit it from multiple angles, so I try all 3 types of hooks: problem-based, benefit-based, and emotional. Here's how I do it. For the problem-based one, I try to hit a specific problem my viewer faces. Every time I try to script a YouTube video, I end up staring at a blank doc and overthinking every word. Now, in the benefit-based, I outline a tangible result my viewer will get from watching my video. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to write a YouTube script that sounds natural and keeps people watching. And in the emotional one, I hit my viewers' pain, the emotion they felt when doing something that my video will aim to help with. I rewrote my first script 14 times and still never filmed the video. In this case, I'm actually using all three in the final version because together they hit different parts of the viewer's brain. Problem grabs attention, benefit builds curiosity, and emotion creates connection. So don't be afraid to stack them if you think they will work better that way, because in the end, it all comes down to experience, and you get that experience fast by testing. So never be afraid of failing. Now, we build out the middle of the script. This is where all your bullets become actual sentences. Here's how I approach it. I take one section at a time. Let's say I'm writing point 1, which is how to outline your video. I write that as a header and then just talk it out like I'm texting a friend. So I'll literally say something like, okay, so here's what I do. I write out hook, intro, main points, CTA at the top of the doc. Then I just list my 3 to 4 main ideas underneath. I keep it casual, use examples if I can, and make sure each paragraph only covers one idea. If a sentence feels long or robotic, I split it up or delete it. Transitions are important too, so between points, I'll write things like, all right, now that your outline's done, let's talk about how to write a hook. That way it flows and it doesn't feel like I'm just reading a list. Once I hit the last point, I move into the wrap-up. I always keep this simple. I'll say something like, all right, now you know how to structure your ideas, how to outline, and how to write a hook. I do this to give my viewer an emotional reward for just watching and learning something from my video. That way, my viewer associates my video with something good. Then I give 1 or 2 CTAs. Usually it's something like, if this helps, you can try it out yourself. And if you want to learn more about X, watch this video. And then I finish with something warm like, thanks for watching. Now go make that video real. This method works not just to get views, but to actually make your videos sound clean, structured, and professional. I've used it to write dozens of scripts across my channels. And while it's not instant, the skills you build doing this stack. You get faster, start thinking in hooks and transitions, and your writing flows better. Your confidence on camera grows with every script. But if you're trying to script consistently, like week after week, it can take time. 3 to 6 hours per video adds up, especially when you're also filming, editing, and coming up with the ideas. That's where AI comes in, not as a replacement, but as a speed boost. Once you know the fundamentals, using something like Poppy.AI lets you build on that foundation faster. You're not guessing or rewriting as much, and you're not stuck in research or staring at a blank page. You stay in control of the voice and vision, but now you've got a tool that helps you move quicker and stay in flow. Now let me show you exactly how I use Poppy.AI to streamline the entire scripting process. First thing I do is open a new Poppy workspace. Think of this like a digital whiteboard. I name it something simple like first video script on faceless shorts, just so I know what I'm working on. This board is where everything goes. Ideas, links, resources, and rough drafts. Next, I add my core context. I type out my video title, who it's for, and what the goal is. For example, how to script your first faceless short from scratch for beginners who don't feel confident writing. That gives the AI a clear starting point. Now, I'm going to drop in a few helpful references. I paste a link to a video that breaks down hook writing, and Poppy automatically pulls in the transcript so the AI can learn from it. Then I upload an in-depth PDF guide I personally made for you to use. It's called Ultimate Script Guide. I do that so Poppy can pull information from it as well, and learn exactly how to build scripts. If you create another group, you can also add any of your old videos or videos of other creators you like, so that Poppy can copy the way you or any other creators speak. That way, it creates a video that gives the same brand voice. Once that's set, I start the first chat and connect all those notes to it. That way, I'm not starting cold. The AI already has everything I want it to know. Then I tell it, using this material, help me outline my video script. It'll give me a full structure with labeled sections, hook, intro, main points, CTA, and even a short outro. From there, I start building the script section by section. I say, let's start with the hook. Based on the hook tutorial and my title, suggest 3 options. It gives me options using the actual patterns from the videos and guides I uploaded. Then I just pick my favorite or tweak them. Now onto the intro. I prompt it again, Write a short intro that sets up the promise and tone, because it already has all my context and structure. It knows exactly what kind of intro I need. I do the same for each section. For example, I say, now draft 0.1, which is about outlining your video before writing. It writes it, and I edit or reword parts that need to sound more like me. This process works for the entire script. I go point by point rather than asking for the whole thing at once, so I stay in control and keep everything aligned with my tone and message. It's surprisingly accurate because it already has the voice, style, and reference guides I gave it. Still, I read everything aloud and make little tweaks where needed. One thing I do often is ask for variations. If a section feels flat, I say, can you tighten this up without changing the meaning? That way, I'm not stuck rewriting from scratch. The AI becomes more of an editor. Once everything feels solid, I use the script right from the board or export it if I want to film somewhere else. This method lets me combine my ideas and research with the AI's speed and structure. I still control the tone and content, but I don't get bogged down trying to write every line manually. And now you can write a complete YouTube script that actually flows, sounds like you, and keeps people watching, all with the help of Poppy.AI. It's faster, smoother, and actually fun once you've got your system in place. If you want to try it yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below, and watch my full Poppy.AI tutorial by clicking the video on the screen. I'll teach you how to make a full script with AI that people actually like. See you there.